only here for a minute. Bet you want a girl to keep it independent, and I know you gotta like a girl that's this appealing. Get you caught up in the moment, then I'll get you in your feelings. Tell your boys that you gon' meet them later on. Both of us are so taxi, leave the meter on. First time you out in Cali, never tried no this strong, so you gon' have some stories to tell when you take it back home and tell them one time, Snowy always showed you what it's like. Leave you sleepy like the call the umpire. Get you out and get you rolling, get you gotta go. I got a flight up in the morning. Someday, someone to tell me I'm somewhere, doing alright. Somewhere I'll find out someone that's somebody that one day I'll be the love of my life, but not tonight though. Trying to catch me in my feelings, but he don't know that I'm the though. Shout out to my that can get it independent and ain't looking for no love.
Hello everyone, I'm Larry Ridley and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Tonight's matchup features two quarterbacks who will be trying to lead their team to victory. It's the Bengals going up against the Titans. With that, it's time to hook up with our commentators in the booth as we turn it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We welcome all of you to Nissan Stadium on the banks of the Cumberland River in downtown Nashville, Tennessee. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Tennessee Titans. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And how about this wide receiving core, Charles?
Well, I was at the hotel watching a little film, and you popped your head in and said these receivers are pretty good from what I can tell. You're exactly right. Can't wait to see them do their thing out on the field.
To throw now on 2nd and 10. Brought in by Walford, right side. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Normally he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
So on 4th down, here's Ryan Quigley now to kick this one away. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. And tough starting field position here. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. And if this offense is going to flow today, certainly the running back will be a key piece.
Without a doubt, because they asked their runner to not just do that, but to block, to catch, to help set a tone for their offense.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Now a 2nd down throw for Mariota. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete. The defensive starters now for Cincinnati.
Xavier Rhodes is a cornerback who does not mind being physical. Whether he's covering passes or coming up in the run game, he's going to be there to make an impact.
So 3rd and medium here, 3rd and 5. Mariota from the gun on 3rd down. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. They overload him that time with a safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7. It's fielded at the 45. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Bengals will take over in terrific field position. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone. That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And they still need 8 yards for the first here on 2nd down. Looking to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. The Titans offense now, they get ready to do battle again here. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
On 2nd down, Williams. Room here to run. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
Good, strong run against the 3-4 set. And that 3-4, you've got to have your guys up front eat up a lot of blocks. The guy playing over the center, the nose, he usually has to take on double teams. But when you're able to successfully move him, you're often able to get some yardage, and that's when linebackers have to clean up and make tackles.
Throwing is Mariota. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
I know tight ends love this route because a lot of times they'll fake a block first and get a little bit of space and then come across the middle because in their mind, they're thinking catch the ball and then drop the hammer on the little guys in the secondary.
Unable to drop the hammer, he just dropped the pass. So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us want to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit, taking it over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
There's the Titan kick team as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. The drive starts with a handoff to Bernard. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
And there's your standard issue draw play. I like it a lot better when it's actually been set up.
Here we go.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he's got him. Got his man on the end route. Complete. 11 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. Still in search of the first down after that last completion.
A nickel set shown by the Titans on 3rd down.
Thinking pass. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that's complete to Walford. It goes for a gain of 10, and it's a first down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Here's Bernard. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. A look at the defensive starters for Tennessee.
Terrell Casey doesn't get the attention that he deserves, but he is an absolutely terrific defensive tackle, the best player on just about any team he would play on.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. They're going to look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
Still 9 yards to go on 3rd down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. The big tight end, Clive Walford, the intended target. And it brings up 4th down.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
They come out here in the eye. They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. The offensive line and its ability to open holes in this defensive front, something they were confident they could create in this game. Got the job done there, picked up the first.
And something they wanted to do. Have we ever met offensive linemen that don't want to fire out and hit people? I mean, they love the running game. Guys want to do that, and when you emphasize it, practice it, and work on it, that gives you an opportunity during the game.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Now, that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
They'll try to throw now. Mariota. And he's got his man on the out route. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Mariota now to throw on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They go back to the ground with Williams. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. They come up in an offset eye. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And an alley to run. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice game.
With the former Volunteer Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Titans with the football here to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Ed McCaffrey, the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
On 2nd down, Mariota again. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down. And I know it seems like we say this a lot in broadcast booths, but a quarterback can hold on to the football too long in these situations. I think he did right there.
Oh, I agree with you totally. Sometimes you have to understand situations. Get rid of the football, save some yardage to make it less to gain for the next down. Instead, he was so hipped on ball security, he held on to it and took a big sack.
Now Mariota, he'll rifle this one deep right side. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. On now is the Titans punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll begin here with Bernard. And he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. 1st level defensive line, 2nd level linebackers, 3rd level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a 1st level run, and it was stopped by a 2nd level player.
Here we go with 2nd and 7. They'll set up a throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Short of the sticks after that completion, and now it's 3rd down for this offense. He'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they are going to take possession of the football inside the 15 at the 14-yard line. And the Titans getting set to go. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The
Leverage.
big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Now a 2nd down throw for Mariota. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
They come out here in the eye. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
They'll run it with Williams into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. So stuff from the 2. Now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action?
Definitely. Let him get outside and create. And if he has to run it, he has a little bit more space.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
And that loss of yards there is not just on him. It's on the guys blocking for him. I mean, they're supposed to create some type of space or at least get a stalemate. They end up letting them through, and they ended up tackling him for a loss.
Line of scrimmage at the 4. Here's 3rd and goal.
We got 3, fellas. We got 3.
3rd and goal. Mariota. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Down here in the red zone, you know your tight end's going to be a favorite target. Couldn't hang on.
And sometimes they just have to get out of their own head because they understand how tight windows are there and how many bodies are there. And sometimes they just overthink it and don't catch the ball.
And Murray's kick is up and good. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So give them 3 there. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they couldn't punch it in.
And credit this defense, too. That was the old bend but don't break approach. But it kept the offense out of the end zone.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Brought in by Walford, right side. Face mask penalty, and Charles, you were a defender. You know sometimes in the heat of the moment, it's hard to keep your hands away from that face mask.
Sometimes you just get out of position as a defender when you're trying to make a tackle, so you end up flailing away, and your hand gets into the wrong spot.
They'll run it here with Bernard. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They come out here in the eye. Again, here's Bernard. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down.
Come on, let's go!
Now a carry for Bernard. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
There's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Underneath, this is Bernard. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and all of a sudden here it's third down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
And so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
Throwing right, and that's complete. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And those first downs do add up. The offense keeps the ball moving downfield and keeps their defense on the bench, giving them a chance to rest.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
Second down following the run. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He drops it off for Bernard. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll bring up a third down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to Tennessee after this. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Caught, the tight end Walford. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bad.
I don't know about that. Super toe. I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Mariota now on second down. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. On 1st and 10, here's Mariota. He'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's second down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game. We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
The Bengals with 2 extra DBs. A nickel look on third.
Blanketing the passing lanes.
And he's going to be sacked back on his side of the field at the 44. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. And out now, here come the Bengals. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Look at this, a tight end carry. And he'll get him a little space here up to the 5-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. Brought in by Walford, right side. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Now another timeout here called by the Titans. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They're in tight formation, not going to take any chances, down to a knee, and that should do it for the first half. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
All they want to do in this situation is get to the locker room and start making adjustments to get ready for the second half.
So if you like field goals, this is your game. 6-3, 3 field goals at the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, where Larry Ridley has our EA Sports halftime report. Larry? Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Titans now. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
They run it again with Williams. A strong running. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
But that's the desired outcome coming out here in the second half of being able to run the football and establish a little bit of pace and maybe even a bit of dominance at the line of scrimmage. And they want that to continue. Way too early to think about this being ball control time. But the way they're running it, you got to think they may want to continue that and see if they can go ahead and grind their opponents into submission. Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Throwing is Mariota. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. A good pickup there. 26 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
Now a handoff looking right. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a 3rd and about 9 to go.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
Offense in a little bit of a bind here. 9 yards to go on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Mariota. And finding Fedorowicz. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
And fit's the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the...
And he gets in. Touchdown, Tennessee. Carlos Williams, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Titans are going to add on to their lead.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet, or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down. You're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drives.
And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee. Their big-bodied receiver, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Titans capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. There's the Titan kick team as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. They'll start on the ground here with Bernard. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Offense with a fumble, but they recover it, and it brings up 2nd down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. It's complete to Laquan Treadwell. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. Down now following the completed pass.
Let's go.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're going to mark this at the 4-yard line. The Titans offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
To throw is Mariota. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. So he got his hands a little too far outside. The ref caught him, threw the flag. Nothing doing on that one, and it'll be 4th down. After the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick. Fielded at the 20. first down. He'll drop to throw. Pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down. Avery Williamson in there to sack him for a loss of 6. I don't care if you're taking it in round 1, you're undrafted, whatever. As a rookie quarterback in this league, you're going to have games where you face adversity like this.
Lessons. All the time you're going to face these lessons. The key for this guy is, will he be able to bounce back in the next one? Because right now, this has not been his game.
The gun. They'll look to throw. Brought in by Walford, right side. The reception good for 7. It's third down. Well, they get the completed pass, but still have more to go here on third down. They'll drop to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. The Titan offense now working their way back onto the field. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain, and it's second down. Great play there off the end. Question, Charles, in a 4-3, you hear about the D tackles a lot. What's the role of the ends?
What they want to do is control the edges of the defense. And you always hear about an offense talking about setting the Well, the defense wants to do exactly the same thing. In the defensive end, often against an offensive tackle, sometimes a tight end, they can't let themselves get a hook and let a running back get outside, because if they do that, that hurts the integrity of the defense overall.
My man, the encyclopedia. So following the run, we'll see what they do here on third down. They'll come out in the pistol. On 3rd and 1, here's Mariota. Hard throw, incomplete.
On 3rd and 1, I think everyone in the stadium thought they'd try and run the football there, but they tried to surprise the defense and hit something through the air. Instead, it results in an incompletion.
And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is. At the 6-yard line. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
There's just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
2nd down following the run. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Well, they tried to swing it on left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. The intended receiver was Laquan Treadwell. And that brings up 4th down. Here's Ryan Quigley now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. He'll take it at the 42. Touchdown, Titans. Their dangerous wide receiver with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Titans find a way to stretch their lead.
And as soon as they hand a rookie his playbook, they say you better make your mark on special teams if you want to hang around. I'd say returning one for a touchdown will definitely leave a memory.
Yeah, that's a pretty indelible mark here early on in his career. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals getting set to go. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Now Bernard. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
3 yards to go here on 2nd down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. They'll roll him out right. And his throw is incomplete. Thought he may have gotten away with one there, but the ref caught him, and it's holding.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
To throw now on 1st down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
Here we go.
Now back to throw. His throw incomplete.
Well, to say that this has not been his game is probably a big understatement. I mean, he is all over the place. Mechanics are off, not accurate, except if you're playing on defense, because they picked off a good number of passes.
Yeah, all the INTs, but they're throwing it off his back foot. Pressure coming, just chucking it downfield. He can't do that right now.
No, you can't do that at all. And I think one of the hardest things for a guy having a day like this one is to find a way to just kind of get out of it, kind of get yourself back to neutral. Because what you try and do is make even more spectacular plays to make up for it, and it usually leads to more bad ones.
Incomplete pass on 2nd down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on 3rd. Back to throw again. And that's complete to Walford. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. So he makes the grab and the change move forward.
Nice job by the offensive line, giving them time to complete that 1st down pass.
Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
In this situation, it's really tough to figure out how to defend because they have plenty of room to still take deep shots at the end zone as they just did there. Yet at the same time, you've got to be ready for the short throw. In this case, when you see the cue that they're going for the end zone, retreat and make sure you have a way to play forward, back towards the receiver, and have a chance to bat the ball away as they did there.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. He drops it off for Bernard. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get into football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit. But get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are. You know, make someone miss in the open field.
They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
Here we go. Grand 38. Grand 38.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this is incomplete. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And as a result, it'll be Titan football on the turnover on downs. Here's the Titan offense now as they make their way back onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
They give it to Williams, running right. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
On now is the Titans punter. He's been terrific so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And that ball's going to angle out at the 3-yard line. A beauty. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again.
They're going to hurry back to the line now. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Well, this whole line, they've had trouble with a pass rush all game long. This time it cost them 2 points.
I mean, you've got a quarterback back there who's running for his life, and he's had no time to throw the football. They've sacked him time and again, and this time they do it in the end zone.
You said it, partner. No time, none whatsoever. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
All right, partner, despite my eating habits, I'm not big enough to play offensive tackle, nor am I quick enough. But with the defensive ends nowadays and their speed, those guys have to be able to punch and dance, and it's a tough, tough job to contain them.
On the toss, here's Williams. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this.
Tight, watch left. Tight, watch left. We got three.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Stays on his feet, and he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
He'll return it from the 6. Now a hit and a loose football. It's picked up by, and he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And another touchdown, maybe rubbing it in a little here. That post-game handshake between coaches might be tense.
Yeah, I would say it will be a little bit tense, but you have to look at it from the side of the victor. They're in a tight battle. They may need those points in case of a tiebreaker at the end of the year.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. They come out here in the eye. Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. Seven yards to go on 2nd down.
Watch tight end, watch tight end. Key to tight end. Come on, let's go. What?
They'll run again with Bernard. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Just a couple on the ground there. That's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And, Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal, win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, boy, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house when you get home after a win like that.
So for Tennessee, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they'll have another home date next week as the Detroit Lions come to town. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Houston Texans. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Titans are winners here as we say so long from Nashville.